Central India, a land of ancient stories and majestic landscapes. Imagine rolling hills, dense forests, and rivers that meander through the plains. In the heart of this land lies Jhansi, a city crowned by a majestic fort standing sentinel against the sky. Its walls whisper tales of valor, of kings and queens, and of a time when the air resonated with the clash of swords and the thunder of hooves. Jhansi, a city steeped in history, was about to witness the rise of its most legendary figure. On November 19th, 1828, a daughter was born to a Brahmin family in the ancient and sacred city of Varanasi. This city, known for its spiritual significance and vibrant culture, witnessed the birth of a girl who would grow up to become a symbol of resistance and bravery. They named her Manikarnika, a name that evoked the brilliance of a jewel, reflecting the hopes and dreams her family had for her. The name Manikarnika was not just a name, it was a symbol of the light and strength she would bring into the world. Little did they know that their daughter would one day be known throughout India as Rani Lakshmibai, the Queen of Jhansi. Her name would become synonymous with courage, resilience, and an unwavering spirit. She would be remembered as a warrior queen who stood up against the British Empire, inspiring generations to come. Even as a child, Manikarnika possessed an indomitable spirit. Her eyes sparkled with determination and her heart was filled with a fierce sense of justice. She was not like other children. She had a fire within her that set her apart. She was a gifted horsewoman, skilled in archery and trained in swordsmanship. Her talents were extraordinary, and she excelled in all forms of physical training. Her prowess in these skills would later become crucial in her fight for freedom. Manikarnika's upbringing was unconventional for a woman of her time. While most girls were confined to domestic roles, she was encouraged to explore her potential. Her education was comprehensive, covering a wide range of subjects that were typically reserved for boys. She received an education usually reserved for princes, studying scriptures, politics, and warfare. Her intellect was sharp, and she absorbed knowledge like a sponge, always eager to learn more. Her education was not just academic, it was also practical, preparing her for the challenges she would face. Her father, Moropant Tamba, played a pivotal role in her upbringing. He instilled in her a deep sense of justice and patriotism. He was not just a father, he was a mentor and a guide, shaping her into the strong and fearless woman she would become. He taught her to love her motherland and to always fight for what was right. His teachings were deeply ingrained in her, and they became the foundation of her character. Manikarnika grew up with a profound sense of duty towards her country, ready to sacrifice everything for its freedom. Destiny had a grand plan for Manikarnika. Born in 1828 in the holy city of Varanasi, she was a spirited and intelligent child. Her early years were filled with stories of valor and bravery, which she absorbed with great enthusiasm. Little did she know these tales would soon become a part of her own life. At the tender age of 14, she was married to Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, the ruler of Jhansi. The marriage was not just a union of two individuals, but a merging of destinies. Manikarnika, now known as Lakshmibai, found herself in a new world, one filled with responsibilities and expectations. Now known as Lakshmibai, she embraced her new role with grace and determination. She quickly adapted to the royal life, learning the intricacies of governance and the art of diplomacy. Her transformation from a young bride to a formidable queen was nothing short of remarkable. The people of Jhansi were taken by their new queen. Her presence was a beacon of hope and strength. They admired her for her courage and her unwavering commitment to their welfare. Lakshmibai was not just a ruler. She was a symbol of resilience and empowerment. Her intelligence, compassion, and strength of character resonated deeply within their hearts. She was known for her keen sense of justice and her ability to connect with her subjects on a personal level. Her court was open to all, and she listened to the grievances of her people with a compassionate ear. As queen, Lakshmibai immersed herself in the affairs of her people. She was not content with merely holding the title. She wanted to make a real difference. She spent countless hours in court addressing issues and finding solutions. Her dedication was unparalleled. She reformed the judicial system, promoted education, and worked tirelessly to improve the lives of women. Her vision was progressive, and she believed in the power of knowledge and justice. Under her reign, Jhansi saw significant advancements in various fields and worked tirelessly to improve the lives of women. She championed the cause of women's rights and took several initiatives to uplift their status in society. Her efforts were groundbreaking and set a precedent for future generations. Her reign was marked by prosperity and a deep bond of love and respect between the ruler and the ruled. The people of Jhansi flourished under her leadership, and the kingdom became a model of good governance and social harmony. Lakshmibai's legacy was one of compassion, strength, and unwavering dedication to her people. However, a storm was brewing on the horizon, one that threatened to engulf Jhansi and the whole of India. The British East India Company was expanding its control, and their policies were causing widespread discontent. Lakshmibai knew that a confrontation was inevitable, and she began to prepare her people for the challenges ahead. The stage was set for a historic struggle, one that would test the very limits of her courage and resolve. The British East India Company, driven by insatiable greed, was spreading its tentacles across India, annexing kingdoms one by one. Their influence was not just military, but also economic and political, as they sought to control the vast resources and wealth of the subcontinent. The company's strategy was ruthless, using both force and cunning diplomacy to expand their dominion. They manipulated local rulers, exploited internal conflicts, and imposed unfair treaties to tighten their grip on the land. Their latest target was Jhansi, a prosperous and strategically important kingdom in northern India. Jhansi was known for its rich culture, strong fortifications, and the bravery of its people. The British saw it as a jewel that would further solidify their control over the region. The company, under the guise of the doctrine of lapse, declared that if a ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would be annexed by the British. This policy was a thinly veiled attempt to expand their empire by exploiting the succession laws of Indian states. It disregarded the traditions and rights of the local rulers, causing widespread resentment and anger. Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, in poor health, adopted a son, Damodar Rao, to secure the future of Jhansi. The adoption was in accordance with Hindu customs and was meant to ensure the continuity of the royal lineage. The Maharaja hoped that this would protect his kingdom from British annexation. However, the British refused to recognize the adoption, laying bare their true intentions. They dismissed the legitimacy of Damodar Rao's claim to the throne, revealing their blatant disregard for Indian traditions and laws. This act of betrayal was a clear indication that the British were determined to seize Jhansi, regardless of the means. Upon the Maharaja's death in 1853, the British sought to seize Jhansi. They moved quickly, sending troops to occupy the kingdom and enforce their claim. The people of Jhansi were plunged into mourning, not only for their beloved ruler, but also for the impending loss of their sovereignty. They offered Lakshmibai a pension and a life of comfort in exchange for her kingdom. The British believed that the young queen, recently widowed and with a child to care for, would accept their offer and relinquish her throne without resistance. This was an insult to the queen and to everything she held dear. Lakshmibai, known for her intelligence, courage, and unwavering sense of justice, could not accept such a demeaning proposal. She saw through the British ploy and understood that accepting their terms would mean the end of Jhansi's independence and the subjugation of her people. With a steely resolve, she decided to fight back, setting the stage for one of the most iconic resistances in Indian history. Standing on the ramparts of her fort, Lakshmibai looked out over her city. She had a choice to make: surrender to injustice or fight for her people, her land, her honor. Her voice resonated with steely determination as she declared, "Meri Jhansi nahin dungi," I will not give up my Jhansi. The Rani chose to fight. Lakshmibai, trained in the art of war since childhood, transformed herself into a formidable warrior queen. She rallied her troops, strengthened the defenses of Jhansi, and prepared for the inevitable British assault. She knew the might of the British army, yet her courage never wavered. The Rani was determined to fight to the death for her motherland. In March 1858, the British army, led by Sir Hugh Rose, laid siege to Jhansi. The battle for Jhansi was about to begin, a testament to the courage of a queen and her unwavering soldiers. Cannons roared, shaking the very foundations of the fort. The sky was filled with smoke and fire as British forces stormed the city walls. The Rani, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos, led her troops with unmatched valor. She fought on the front lines, her sword flashing like lightning. Her courage inspired her soldiers to fight with the ferocity of tigers defending their den. Lakshmibai's strategic brilliance was evident in the defense of Jhansi. She understood the terrain, using it to her advantage. She employed guerrilla tactics, launching surprise attacks and disappearing into the labyrinthine lanes of the city. The British, expecting an easy victory, were taken aback by her fierce resistance. They called her the Tiger of Jhansi, a title that instilled fear and respect in equal measure. After weeks of relentless attacks, the British finally breached the defenses of Jhansi. With her city on the verge of falling, Lakshmibai, her infant son strapped to her back, made a daring escape. She rode through the night, a warrior queen defying defeat, her spirit undimmed.